Hey up, Chuck. We often get asked whether we miss travelling, and it is a really tricky one. So I figured I'd attempt to explain it. As ever, the answer to these things is yes and no. I'm going to start with yes and move on to the no, but I fear I'm going to be talking myself into yes, we miss travelling loads, but that's because we're not currently travelling. The grass is always greener. It represents a time in our life when we could travel when we were young and carefree, and obviously we're not young or carefree anymore. It's just opportunity, and you haven't learnt these things about yourself yet. You haven't become world weary, so that we definitely miss. That sounds really horrible. I don't think we're really world weary. For me, I think it's an element, though I will say the world wasn't as scary as I thought it was. So it's kind of like learning that the world isn't as scary. And that's a good thing. So you kind of go, well, I've learnt that. That's a good thing. I'm glad that I'm this person on the other side of it. So that's a no, but we're in the yes section. It's also really nice just being away from home. It's a world of possibilities. You can go out and everything's exciting. Shopping for groceries is exciting. In Mexico, we walked into supermarkets and it smelled of fresh, amazing fruit. That doesn't happen here. In the fruit section, you're lucky if you get a waft of a strawberry, let alone trying to really sniff out a pineapple. I always said pomegranate. I can't really smell pomegranates. They're not very pungent. When we're traveling, we're also making an effort to go out and see people, partly because we had to. Whereas at home, you can get just stuck in a rut, stuck in your own rhythms, not see as much of the place that you're living as you do other places that you don't live, if that makes sense. It's being confronted with the unknowns as well, being able to go to a new place every other week and then be like, oh my God, there's so many things that I didn't realize were part of this culture, things that I could do here. That is so exciting. You get to make new friends and know that even if you stupidly embarrass yourself, then you won't be there soon, so it doesn't matter. Not that it really mattered anyway, but it extra doesn't matter. It's also really exciting looking at a map and going, oh, we could go to Kuala Lumpur or Ho Chi Minh City, or I'm just trying to think logically what we would do is look in the same area, but you could just look at anywhere in the world and go, yeah, we could be there next week or next month. Is between a week and a year, but I can't remember the middle bit. It is exciting. It's exciting looking at these places and going, I've always heard of that as a name. Now I'm being eaten by mozzies in these temples, which is really cool and also a bit sad, but cool. When we were purely traveling as well, our responsibilities were our own. We didn't have to be at a certain place at a certain time unless we were, catching a flight or something. That can be quite relaxing. We'll move on to that in a second. It's very freeing knowing that your entire worldly possessions are in a couple of bags on you and you've boiled it down to that. It is just nice being able to quantify what people mean when they say, oh, I've been up Pompeii, I've been to New York, I've been to Japan in Sakura season. You kind of go, okay, actually I have been there too and I know what that means. Also, I love languages. I love languages. Being someone to actually immerse yourself in it, even if it's really difficult, like Vietnamese, my God, it's fun. You see similarities and yet you realise quite how different everything is and your worldview is seriously challenged, which I think is a good thing. On to the nose. Does that work? We're gonna leave it in, it'll work. I mentioned this in the Travelling is Overrated video. Your world, your family moves on without you. That's quite isolating in a way because you've experienced loads of things that they cannot wrap their heads around. But equally, it's the same the other way around. They've had to live through energy crisis and all this sort of thing without you. In order to continue together, then you have to put a bit of work in, and that is quite tricky because it has to come from both sides. They don't care about all the exciting places you've been because they have been living life and maybe it's been a bit sucky, or maybe it hasn't been sucky and they don't really care about the places you've been, just like you don't care about how the commute's been for the last 2 years. It's also really nice to not have to move around. We've got all of our stuff and we have seriously spread. We do not have 2 bags worth of personal possessions anymore. We have so much more. We need to have a serious clear out. I don't know if this is a good thing or not, but we had to be so clean and tidy when we were away. We were cleaning things every couple of days. Now we don't have to do that, which is mixed. Like, we save a lot of time. Things also completely blend. I think if you have less places that you've been and you're not rushing from A to B to C to D to E, then it actually means more. And we weren't massively rushing. We were spending a month here and there and they still have blurred together like nobody's business. I also really missed my cat. I'm really glad that I'm back with her. I think it also makes you really appreciate your space more. Having been in so many different houses, I look at the space that I've got and I go, what did I like about other houses? What could I do better here? How could I make better use of the space, the 3D space that I have? If you think about the 3D space of a room, you can fit so much stuff in. We have so much stuff. We can fit it more efficiently. And I like efficient packing. That is the risk. I've kind of just summarized the other 2 videos. We still feel that way though. That's still valid. Overall, do we miss traveling? Yes and no. And I know I said that at the beginning, but we do miss all of the good things. And you know what? It is really sucky not being able to just jump on a plane because we've got to arrange the animals. It's being told no. I hate being told no. The world does definitely feel more restricted that way. Also, look at the prices of things from here, and Europe is really expensive. Unlike Asia. Asia was very reasonable, but it's also really nice being close to family again. And we knew that when we went away, we knew that we'd be coming back, and we knew that we wanted to be around family. That was kind of the end goal of this, was to broaden our world experiences, but also be close to family. I think the better balance for us though is to go on holiday more, but actually put a certain amount of time aside going to places that we weren't able to go at the time. Now we're just going to have to work out how to do that. In an ideal world, would I travel full time? I don't think I'd be able to do it full time. I like my home comforts too much. I reckon I might be happy traveling a few months a year though. I think if funds were not an issue and the pets weren't an issue, then I reckon that would be my balance. There's still so many places we haven't seen, so many people we haven't thought about. I appreciate that's a really privileged thing to say and even think, but it is amazing being in a position to be able to expand your worldview. If you can do it and you're interested, then I would recommend it. So for the third time, do we miss traveling? I think we do. I think we miss traveling, but we wouldn't travel full time. It's always non-committal with these things, but that is always because it's a nuanced answer. But let me know what you think. If you're a nomad and there's no fun to be had staying still, or if you're a homebody and wouldn't dream of getting on a plane, let me know what you think. And I'm just gonna dream of Helsinki and Paris and Amsterdam and Stroopwafel. You can see Amsterdam is top of my mind. It's a stroopwafel. I miss them. They're alright imported, but it's just not the same as a fresh stroopwafel. Anyway, have a lovely week. See you next time. Bye!